everybody, happy full moon, and take care of yourself during this lunar eclipse mixed with the Mars eclipse. That's so interesting and cool and like jazzy and I don't know, like magical, like, you know, the universe is. So what is this lunar eclipse in Aquarius opposition to the sun in Leo all about? Well, it's about not being nice, making nice anymore towards like what you really want. You've been going about getting what you want by being politically correct. You have shaken all the hands, you done smiled, you have been polite, you have been helpful, you have given away things for free, you have been congenial, you have been kind, you have almost been a doormat for the past, like since January, maybe December, because you've been trying to do things in a more loving way. You've been trying to be like, new me, who this, you know, and now you're reaching a point of frustration. You're so frustrated that you're probably going to break down and just cry like, what? Like, I do this, I did that, I did this, I did that. Now, it's a evolutionary process. You're not feeling this way for no reason. It's kind of like the process where the plant breaks through the ground and it has like a big growth spurt. Have you ever had a plant in your home and then you come in the house one day, you be like, well, damn girl, sprout then, you know? It's like that. You're going to come to a point where, fuck it, I'm going to do me, I'm going to go after what I want. I mean, you take your new skills with you of being a business person and knowing what to say and what to do at the right times. You don't drop those skills, but you also add a little, no more Mr. Nice Guy to it, you know, and that's going to send a signal, send a fragrance out into the universe that tells the universe that, oh, okay, she's ready, she's serious, she's absolutely ready. That's what this transit is for right now, for you to reach a point to where you run that extra mile. You know, you get tired of being sick and tired of yourself. You get tired of not feeling love and not having what you want. I'm not saying that it's going to happen overnight, but this energy, this anger, this rage that people are going to be, this frustration that people are going to be feeling, it is not for you to take it out on other people. It is for you to use it as fuel. So let me pull a couple of cards for you. I'm not at my office, and all I have in my bag are my belly dancing cards and my Osho Zen Tarot deck. But Osho Zen Tarot goes in, so we're going to use these. So we're going to do a collective reading for the people who watch this video and try to get as cohesive reading as possible for everyone. So I'm going to pull a few cards, and one of the cards may resonate with you, or the whole story of the cards may resonate with you. Okay, that's what we're asking for some guidance. Now last night, I had a dream that this girl burst into like my office space. It didn't look like my office, but it felt like it. It was a feeling that this was my space. And these people were waiting outside of the office, because in my office, I share a building with other people, right? And it seemed like they were waiting outside for me to open the door, but the door was already open. It wasn't locked. And so, and for some reason, I could not hear them knocking. I didn't, and it was like they weren't even knocking. And so when I finally heard them, they were frustrated that they couldn't get in. It was not my fault, but one of the girls had an attitude with me, and she like zoomed past me. She had an attitude with me. She walked past me again. She had an attitude with me, and I did something that I usually don't do. in real life. I was like something of the effect that if don't come at me like that, or else I'll push your little ass down the steps, because there were like steps. And then we almost got into like a real hood fight, like World Star style. And I was about to push her down the steps because she was standing right on the edge. And I stopped myself. I was like, what are you doing? It's like, what are you doing? Why are you letting us get this far? You know? Mars and the moon conjunct each other. I guess I'm taking out my frustration in my dreams. Thank God. The universe is kind of like letting me let off steam in my dreams. Because I do kind of feel like that in my life. I make myself available. I am kind, I'm generous, I'm supportive. And then, you know, it was just one person though. It was a whole group of people that were trying to get in. It wasn't just her, but she made it out. She took it personal. And then I focused on her, you know. So the key is to not focus on just that one person that's pushing your buttons. Don't push nobody down the steps, y'all. It's not worth going to jail over one transit, right? Oh, and in my dream I lost my car. And then, hi Tidy. And you know that your dreams, your cars represent your identity. First, I let my sister or whoever drive my car, and they brought it back to me, and the door was missing. One of the doors was missing. And then the whole car was missing. And, you know, I guess what that dream was saying to me is that, you know, don't get lost in trying to be nice to my family. Because the other part of my dream was about my family. And then old friends that really don't do anything for me but make me lose myself. That's a little dream interpretation for you guys. Hi, sweetie. Oh my God, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. Oh, you're just being so sweet. He's like, take me to the park. Come up here. Come on. Take me to the park. Okay. So we're going to do a short reading. And I've also been feeling frustrated because I don't have the energy to do everything I want to do. That is so frustrating to me. I would be, and I am a projector, a human design projector, for all you guys that don't know what that is. You can go to Jovian Archive and look up your human design chart. It's real interesting. It'd be on point. It's just another tool to help you get to know yourself as a human being. Take it for what it's worth. And as a projector, I know a whole lot of tools because projectors don't get a really great mirroring as kids. Because nobody wants to hear like a little kid tell them what to do. Like in our society, children get looked at like they're idiots instead of like they're gods, you know. Anybody got an extra phone line around that has like lots of space and stuff on it? I'm trying to make a web series on my phone or on my little small camcorder, whatever. I'm going to use whatever I can to get the things I want to get done. And it can get done. It will get done. That's the attitude we need to have. Once you break through past your attitude problem, that's what's going to break through. Like this new egg of energy, this new surge of energy, you're going to catch your second wind. Alright, so this reading is for the full moon, lunar eclipse, and Mars. So I think that those are three separate things. So we have the new moon in Aquarius. Okay. So let's pull a card about that first. The full moon in Aquarius. Full moon in Aquarius. What's the message? the 5 of fire. And you see in this picture 2 people, 3 people actually, working together to do a trick and having to connect and combine forces in order to make it work. And so you know what happens next after that person combines their hands with those 2. They let go of their feet. Like somebody has to let go. Like somebody has to be the one to drop. You know, everybody, or the trick isn't going to work. It's going to be stalemate. And this card is existence, and it came out reversed, but this is a gorgeous card. This is a person sitting on a lotus, looking out into the stars, which is perfect for what a lot of us will be doing tonight. In the United States, we're not going to be able to see it, unfortunately. But if you're in Africa or in Europe, especially on that connection right there, I think with the Black Sea, I think. Ooh, I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. Please, I'm so sorry. I should be better at geography. But anyway, to me, this is saying is that you can't hold on to who you used to be. You can't hold on to your old ways. You can't fake it till you make it anymore. Like, you're actually going to have to let go and trust. You know, you can't pretend to be vegan or to be spiritual. If that's what you are, you need to live it. You need to jump. You need to go all the way with it, or else that's not really who you are, and you're not going to be able to make it to the next stage. You're going to be held back. You're going to be holding yourself back. What this is telling me is that a lot of people have been holding themselves back by trying to kind of teeter-tot or not really make a decision, trying to live both lives. You know, either you're going to allow the spiritual world to take over, or you're not. And that goes into another thought I've been having. A lot of people want to be healers and tarot readers and stuff because that's like trendy and it seems fun. That's cool, you know, but there's a lot of responsibility that people don't understand until they get into it. The spirit world basically will demand your whole life. You might end up a bit homeless. You might end up losing your job because there is a price to pay. There's a price to pay for spiritual gifts. For just like there's a price to pay when you say, I want to be an engineer. You have to commit your life to it. You're going to be committing. You're either going to commit your life to whoever you say you are, what you want to be, or you're just going to be like, this ain't for me. You need to make a decision. You need to let the energy break inside of you and leap, or you need to get up out that seat so that you can actually be yourself. This reverse is saying to me that you've been struggling with the decision of whether or not you want to be yourself, or if who you have been being is really yourself, or if does it just look fun and cool to you. You know, it's not fun and cool, is it? It's really not. It's serious work. And in ancient times, and we're going to get back to this, and I'm going to be talking about stuff like this more, which is why I started my class and meetup called All the World is a Stage, the study of ancient mythology. There are people in your families that are highly sensitive. They're the high priestess and the high priest of the family. Each family has that person that stands in, and maybe more than one, because when there's an energy missing on earth, the program repeats itself over and over again until we remedy that issue. Okay? And so I'm not saying that you're not a healer. I'm not saying that you're not a tarot reader, but I don't want to see you be a homeless tarot reader. What's that? What's that going to do? You know? So if you're finding yourself struggling financially, and you don't have a place to sleep, and you don't have anything to eat, you know, unless you're willing to see it all the way through, and that's really who you are, okay, that makes sense. Keep going. Last year, before I went to St. Thomas, I actually made a decision to live in my car. I wasn't forced into my car. I could have stayed at different people's houses, but I needed this independence. I needed it to just be me in existence. And the universe was pushing me to live my true self and to just allow a break in my psyche from conforming to being my true self, you know. And then I went to St. Thomas and I ended up in hurricanes. My initiation was really super intense. So if you're going through initiation after initiation after initiation, it's for you to really let go of conforming. Okay, so now we're going to look at the lunar eclipse. And now, yeah, we're going to look at the lunar eclipse. And also in ancient times, the communities, the tribes took care of their medicine men and medicine women. And so, no, you didn't necessarily have to pay for healing, but you did. Because you make sure that the shamans had food, clothing, shelter, you know. And now, in modern times, a lot of the shamans and stuff have to get shops and set up businesses in order to get paid, maybe even by tourists, because there's been a breakdown in the value of spiritual guidance and the need for it. You know, if everybody believes that they are a shaman, then who's taking care of all the shamans? You know. So yes, beware of when you step into the spiritual world that tarot reading is not a toy. Being a healer is not a toy. The spirit world will demand payment from you. A sacrifice, so to speak, for those gifts. For that extra power, because it's power. And we'll talk more about that. I think that's worth talking about. So we're going to look at the solar eclipse. And I'm saying this because I give people readings and stuff. And then there's some people that feel like they can go and be a tarot reader. And I'm like, please be careful. You know, because I know they don't know. So my family is... like, I call them the ghost mafia, because ever since I was a kid, there's been like supernatural things around me, and it's been white magic and black magic, and it goes back many, many generations, not just on my dad's side, but on my mom's side too. So I'm not speaking about something that I don't know. My phone keeps cutting off because I have all these videos on my phone. I mean, the video keeps stopping. The solar eclipse. Alright, so this solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. Now, lunar eclipses are inauspicious. This is when the veil is lifted for the spirit world to come in and maybe wreak a little bit of havoc. So however it is you're feeling, it's going to be amplified. And if you look at these cards, there's exhaustion and receptivity. So basically, this solar eclipse is going to make you want to push yourself to the brink, the edge. I'm sorry, I keep saying solar. This lunar eclipse is going to make you feel like maybe you can do more than you actually can. Instead of getting help or maybe listening to people, be like, when people tell you you're doing too much, you'd be like, man, leave me alone, I got this. You might feel like, wow, what's the right word? You just might be a bit pig-headed for a little while, but you're really exhausted and you're pushing. Because remember we were talking about how, you know, maybe you feel like disenfranchised, and not in all your good work, not being seen. And so instead of kind of having a breakdown and then a breakthrough, and a breakdown will kind of look like you crying, like out of frustration, and then letting the new energy come through. But the energy can also make you feel like, I just need to do a little bit more. Instead of letting some things go and letting the new ideas come up, this is really what you want. You want to be like, you know what, I'm done exhausting myself and putting my energy into things that aren't working. Maybe some things just aren't working. Maybe some things need to be revamped. Maybe you do need to take a break, because the Queen of Water is about listening to your intuition and also taking care of yourself and not over giving. So you're over giving, you're overdoing it, you're exhausted, and that's a warning, because eclipses are about warnings. So this is a warning for you not to do that. So let's look at the the Mars and the Moon. I'll show you how you need to be. Titan, say hi. Say hey. Okay, I'll leave you alone. He knows how to relax. Me and him are going to go to the woods, as usual, and get some R&R. I'm going to spend a lot of time in the woods today before my twerking tarot class. Okay, so we're going to look at the Mars conjunction with the Moon, and then we're going to look at the Mars eclipsing the Moon, because those are two separate things to me. That's interesting. Power. Alright, what's the message for Mars conjunction Moon? Huh. Alright. This is an interesting message, because Mars conjunct the Moon is anything but silent. So why are you getting this message? And this is the Hangman, which is kind of what I was alluding to when we were talking about the sacrifice that the spirit world is asking you for right now. So, you know, maybe I'm gonna pull another card. Maybe the universe with the Mars and the Moon, it's like, instead of turning all the way up, you know, take a more mature approach and go within and find your center, find your peace. And that may cause a breakdown. Like, sometimes messages and directions you get from the universe is a step towards you surrendering more, but the steps may not make any sense to you. So you relaxing when you feel like turning up and going out and going off, especially on the full moon, will cause more inner frustration, and then you probably will have a breakdown because you're sitting with it instead of moving around trying to ignore what you're feeling, which is a lot of times what we do, you know, because nobody wants to be in their feelings. Oh, she's in her feelings. Well, sometimes you gotta be in your feelings, because life is not about how things look on the outside. We are in an evolutionary process. We are the part of nature that has consciousness and the ability to speak it. So, but we're no different than any of the plants, the animals, the sky, the Jupiter. We're all one. So, people need to understand that you're connected to the process of evolution. And so you're not like tied to trends and phrases, turn up, in my feelings, woke, like all that shit doesn't have shit to do with the process, okay? So the process, if you want to win, would be you going into silence and getting yourself a journal and really having a breakthrough. This is about you having a breakthrough. Get yourself a journal. Hello. Journal. Have your breakthrough and move on. Don't get stuck here. There's no need to push people down the steps, like I said. And ask your guardian angels, ask your guides to help you get through this energy in a civilized, peaceful manner. Because if you ask the universe, hey, I want to have a breakthrough, they don't care how you have it. So you just might end up pushing somebody down the steps and ending up in jail during the full moon. So make sure you ask them to give you your answer in the most gentle way possible. You have to add that. The universe is just like that. Okay? Alright, I'm going to pull another... Well, no, that's fine. I'm going to do Mars eclipse in the moon. Let's see what's up. Mars eclipse in the moon. So you have the page of water, and then you have the 9 of rainbows. So this is understanding. You see the birds that are free, and you're in the cage, and then in the cage bars are even disappearing, but you still don't move. Well, this card is upside down, and it's like it's shaking the cage, shaking the table, shaking the cage upside down, and you are going to be released from your cage, whether you like it or not, and you're going to grow. You're ripe. You're ready. You're ready to be. You're plump, and you're misunderstanding, because this card is about understanding. Upside down, I'm just going to say this is a misunderstanding. You're misunderstanding the process of growth. You've been misunderstanding what it feels like, what it looks like. You're like, oh, so how come I can't play? I'm stuck in this cage, and they get to go outside and play. And the universe is like, ho, get out the cage, get out the damn cage, and go play, go fly. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And this is you in the end. Ripe and ready to be picked, baby. Plump. You're getting what you want. This is the 9 of Pentacles in the traditional tarot deck. It's like luxury. You're going to reach up the point of where you feel like proud of yourself. You deserve it. You deserve to look in the mirror at your reflection and see that all the work that you've done is not in vain. Everything that you've sown in the past is going to come into fruition. You've done the work. It just doesn't feel like you're getting what you want. But you're going to be shaken out of your cage, and everything's just going to fall into place and make sense. But it looks like you're going to go through it first. And that's okay. That's part of the process. It's kind of like waking up out of the matrix. You're like, oh, I'm scared. What's that? Oh my God. Ah. That's all. That's all that is. Peace to you. Wherever you are in the world, have a great day. Whatever time it is, wherever you're at. Enjoy your time. Enjoy being present. Life is long and life is short at the same time. I love you guys. Peace. Outside on my life,